morning, everyone. Oh, it's not good morning. I say that every morning, but we repeat at 12:30 and 5. So how are you? Thank you for joining us. It's this day, and today is Thursday, and it is April 30th. Now, today on our show, we have Hoag Orthopedic Institute, who is now partners with Pro Sport Therapy, and they are going to tell us a little bit about their operation now and how things have changed since COVID-19. Then we also have Globe headlines, and Jennifer Carmarker is here to tell us the highlights of the Globe for today. Now, let's go ahead and give you our same websites that we've been giving you for the last 6 weeks on how you can get information on COVID-19. Of course, you can go to the cdc.gov, and then you can also go to ochealthinfo.com. Now, these two are different. We've got cdc.gov, where you can get all the information about COVID-19 as well as finding out about groceries and safety and stay-at-home ideas, as well as how to make your own mask. Then if you go to ochealthinfo.com, this is where you can get all of the numbers that are updated on a regular basis. I believe it is daily, so you can go ahead and check that out. Or you can go to our website, which is lagunawoodsvillagealerts.com. Again, all the same information, however, it's just a little bit more local for your information. You can email us at info@lagunawoodsvillage.com or call our hotline, which is updated on a regular basis, 949-268-2019. Now let's take a look at our weather. We have some lovely weather again this week, a couple of high clouds, some morning fog obviously this morning. If you take a look here, we've got today is going to be about 76, 60, then we've got Friday 77, 59, Saturday 77, 58, Sunday is 76, 58, and then Monday we get back up into the 80s, but nonetheless everything's looking pretty good this week. Let's look at our sunrise and sunset. The sunrise this morning was 6:03, and our sunset was 7:34. Look at that lonely little bird sitting there, but he doesn't look lonely at all. Looks like he's having a lovely time. This picture was sent to us by Ben Givens. Thank you so much, Ben. We appreciate it. Very pretty day out there that you took. And if you have a lovely photo of the surrounding area here or someplace here in Laguna Woods, feel free to send that to us at Laguna Woods Village TV at gmail.com. All right, we will be right back with HOI Pro Sport Therapy. Stay tuned. Welcome back. Well, I am joined by Dr. Carlos Prieto, who is here on behalf of HOI and Pro Sport Therapy. Well, doctor, thank you for joining us. How are you?
I'm doing fine. It's a pleasure to be here. Thank you.
Well, thank you for being with us. So obviously things have changed a little bit over the last 6 weeks regarding COVID-19 and how you're treating patients and just a lot of the things that are going on. But before we go into that, could I have you just give me a brief background on what you do?
Sure. I'm an orthopedic surgeon. I've been in practice or just completed my practice. I've been practicing about 40 years in Orange County, and I've been intimately involved with Hoag Orthopedic Institute, HOI. And in my retirement, I am now a medical director for Pro Sport, as I've had a long relationship with the owner, Joe Donahue, and he's asked me to come aboard and help a bit.
That's great. And we've had Joe on before, and he is just a wealth of knowledge and very enthusiastic and upbeat guy. So that sounds wonderful. Now, in regards to Hoag Orthopedic Institutes, I know there's a variety of places people can go for therapy. And now that we have a stay-at-home situation, what are you guys doing at your facilities to kind of combat or accommodate your patients now?
Well, as soon as Governor Newsom let us know now 5.5, 6 weeks ago that we were going to have to, for senior shelter at home, and that there were going to all of these changes being made, we initiated changes immediately at Pro Sport. When the indication was that 65 and older should then shelter at home, those are a lot of the patients that Pro Sport takes care of. So as a result, we had to then make an adjustment and hold those people off from coming in. There were, however, some people had the essential need to be at physical therapy, so we had to make changes in our whole system to adapt to the pandemic.
Right. And I think before we were chatting, and it was a little bit about sort of, you now have questionnaires for patients that come in, you have questionnaires for the employees. Kind of give me a rundown of the various things that you guys have done to make those changes.
Well, the first question is, does anyone have an illness, particularly COVID, and you don't want to cause someone else to get it because it's very contagious. As a result of that, we really needed to get a questionnaire every time the patient came in for care as to how they're feeling. Have you had any fever, any cough, any malaise, questions of that nature. But at the same time, the patient that comes in for treatment wants to know about the physical therapist. How about the physical therapist? Is their health good, et cetera? So we set up, number one was a little bit of a questionnaire so that we could move forward with anybody, regardless of age, that needed to be seen. Physical therapy is one of the essential businesses that could continue to operate. Nonetheless, we wanted to make sure we did that. We also immediately initiated a wash-in, wash-out policy. So anytime you're seeing a patient, going in to visit with the patient or going out, you're washing your hands with Purell on the way in, you're washing on the way out. The wash-in, wash-out technique that we actually got from the hospital, that we've used at the hospital for some time. Additionally, masks came in. So then it was a matter of getting masks for the staff and also having masks for the patient. Additionally, we had to work on distancing to make sure that the tables where people are being evaluated are not close together. So we wanted to make some separation on those. And we also got thermometers to take their temperature. Those are some of the immediate things. And one of the difficult things that came along is that we wanted to continue to follow the patient. So it was a matter of getting on the phone and talking to the patient. And interestingly, this has then evolved to creating a bit of telehealth.
Right. Yeah, and the telehealth industry now is really, taking off. Obviously, we're here doing Zoom, so we're sort of doing, this is our interviews these days. And I'm assuming that a similar type of thing is used for your patients. One thing I wanted to talk about is those that have maybe had surgery prior to this. I mean, now it's been 6 weeks. So initially, you must have been able to follow your patient immediately after of surgery. How did you go about doing that?
Well, we had to be in contact with the patients and find out where they were in the recovery process. After orthopedic surgery, particularly if it's a joint replacement in a senior, that initial therapy is critical for their ultimate outcome. As a result of that, we had to assess each patient individually in terms of who they are, the procedure that they had, all of their whatever comorbidities they may have, so that we could deal with that. We didn't want to shortchange anybody, and if we needed to treat, we needed to do it in a very safe environment, not only safe for the patient, but also safe for the staff.
All right, perfect. And then, of course, the things that you've mentioned before. Let's expand a little bit on the telehealth. We've had several conversations with a variety of doctors from a variety of different areas, and the telehealth does come up. And it is now something that is an option. Tell me how it works with ProSport Therapy and Hoag Orthopedic Institute, as well as what the patient needs to know about it.
Well, telehealth is occurring, and the need drives what we do, and that's happened in medicine forever. If we do the right thing, whether insurance companies or anybody knows what we're doing or what we can charge for it or not, it ultimately happens that it will be the right thing to do. In other words, they will organize it and authorize it.
Right.
So we just started by doing it, de novo, to talk to our patients, create a system where we could see them, review the exercise that we're doing. And now, this has really gained considerable popularity, not only for physical therapists, but for academicians and everything across the board, as you referenced at Zoom.
Right.
So that we've been doing a lot of conferencing by Zoom as well. But I do feel particularly for seniors, that this is a great avenue or a way to be able to continue to exercise. And initially, there's a little bit of an IT question. Can we get this thing done? Does it work? Do I know how to do it? Can I get on? But those therapists are there to help you. They'll help you to get on so you can learn how to get on the telehealth situation or Zoom or whatever it is. Because I find that that's really a great way to number one, carry out the needed care, but at the same time, increase that social interaction and the viewing of the person and seeing them back and forth, so that you can then read them and get the kind of care that you need to be and to stay healthy. And that's important during this time to really keep your health up.
Now, you yourself mentioned that you are active, and obviously you had to make some modifications. And I believe you mentioned that you are within the age range that we have here in our community. So tell me what you've been doing personally to sort of make sure that you are active and staying healthy.
Well, I'm a sports medicine doc, so I've been involved in sports my whole life. So I'm one of those guys that's, forever been an exerciser. It's just, since I was a little kid, that's just my nature. But, with each decade that goes along, as we exercise, we have to make an adjustments in what we can do. There were years when I would run a marathon or play basketball. Well, those days are long gone. So fortunately, I've been able to work with a personal trainer, and now I'm doing my personal training with him on Zoom. I know him. We set a time. I see him. He sees me. I do my stretching. I do my flexibility. I've got some little hand weights in the house that I can do and exercise. And he checks my form and makes sure he advances. And he continually changes the routine so that this is a way that you can do it. And I think it's a great avenue to be able to continue to stay active. And we need to stay active. It's important.
Now, in terms of mental health, because I know isolation and depression can certainly set in when people are home alone and can't interact with people, what are some things that you've done to, other than your telehealth or your personal trainer, what are some other things that you do?
On a personal level, well, I've got kids, I got grandkids, and as a result, we will get together on Sundays. A daughter of mine will put it together so I get to see my kids, my grandkids, and the little baby sitting on my daughter's lap and joking and making funny noises, and everybody sits there. And then occasionally it's difficult to get off because we're really having such a good time. So that's with them. I have some brothers. We chat on Zoom, once a week to see how to take a look at each other's face, make sure you're doing okay. And the other thing, is making sure you have that kind of social interaction, and also kind of, this is a significant check by Mother Nature on the civilization.
Right.
And it's about staying present today in the now. Right. I saw a little message that came across, and it was just a line on a piece of paper. In the center was a box. To the left was the past, to the right was the future. The only thing we can really deal with is that little box in the middle.
Right.
So, reminding ourselves that, and if it's a nice day, you can enjoy the clouds and the sky and the wind and center ourselves to do that, because depression is a huge thing that happens during this time. Suicide rates go up, and, being closed in alone by yourself is not a good thing. So, certainly masking and going outside and getting some air, keeping your social distance. One thing that's good about seniors is seniors are not hard to keep them doing the right thing.
That's
I shop at the market at between 7 and 8, and there's just my senior pals waiting orderly, 6 to 10 feet away, and you can get in and get out. But it's important to have a little regular activity and kind of set up a little schedule that you're doing some things, because it can get it down a little bit down for everybody.
Yes, excellent advice. And I'll have to say that you're right about the seniors following what they're supposed to be doing, because our community has 18,000 people, and all of them have been so good. and they stay in and they keep their distance and they're wearing their masks. We had a big mask distribution the other day and everybody's getting them. So you're right. They are doing the right thing and hopefully that'll keep everybody safe. So thank you so much. I really appreciate you taking the time and congratulations on your appointment at Pro Sport Therapy. It sounds like it's going to be a lot of fun, some good work, and I really appreciate the time.
It's my pleasure. Pro Sport has a wonderful culture. They've got a great leader, and they've got a tremendous team over there to help. They're hardworking physical therapists and trainers and PT assistants. It's a wonderful culture, and they'll take very, very, very good care of you. I can guarantee you that. Excellent.
Okay. Well, thank you so much, and you stay healthy.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Bye-bye.
Bye.
And we'll be right back after this.
Hi, I'm John Bowser Bauman. You probably know me best as Bowser from Sha Na Na, but I'm also president of Social Security Works PAC. And you know, when I'm in Laguna Woods, I always watch Village television. Grease for peace.
Welcome back. Well, we have someone in our Zoom audience here, or our Zoom studio, that we haven't seen for a while. We have Jennifer Carmarker here with the Globe. Well, hi, Jennifer.
Hi, it's great to see you, Lisa.
Great to see you too, in the virtual form, if you will. I've heard a lot's going on with the Globe. I mean, we haven't had you guys on in a while. So tell me a little bit about what's going on and how you've had to accommodate some changes here.
Yes, we certainly have, as I'm sure our readers have noticed, with the events and club activities coming to a screeching halt in March. The focus of our stories has changed in past weeks, and it continues to evolve. In the early weeks, we wrote practical stories like where to get food and medicine and supplies and changes to the bus service and scams to watch out for, things like that with practical information. And as the weeks have gone by, we've shifted to stories about how residents are coping, you know, the impacts to the clubs and groups, and stories of inspiration. There's a lot of those out there. Yes. And that's exactly what we have in today's Globe.
That's great. And, you know, we've been kind of meeting with the residents in a roundabout sort of way. We have a new segment called In Your Neighborhood Virtually. And so we get residents to come on and chit chat about what they're doing to cope with stay at home, how they're doing a lot of Zoom and this and that. And it's been really fun. And I'm sure, as you know, many of our residents, all of them are really doing a great job at their stay at home and wearing their masks and things like that.
They are wonderful. We have to commend
I'm glad
them.
you're able to highlight some of them. So that's great. Well, tell me what's happening right now.
Well, in today's Globe, on the cover, we have an article about our village artists. It's a very, lively and thriving arts community here with the Arts Association. And of course, with Clubhouse 4 shuttered, the painters and ceramicists and sculptors and woodworkers and jewelers have had to change things. They've had to retreat to their home studios and garages and improvise ways to be creative. So recently the Globe talked to some of the village artists and just to find out how they're coping with the changes and what they're doing now. Included in our story today are interviews with sculptor Brian Giberson. He creates intricate wall sculptures, and his partner Sherry Cohen. She is a jewelry maker. And neither is able to sell their work right now since most of the local art shows, have been canceled. Both were juried into the Laguna Beach Festival of Arts. That show is still uncertain, as we know. And Cohen also taught jewelry making at the Irvine Fine Arts Center before it too closed. So the couple said that they are coping by reducing their spending. And they're also checking into protection programs for the self-employed and also some artist relief funding and grants to help them, get through. Cohen said she is sending notes to her students to keep track of random acts of kindness. So I thought that was kind of nice. We also spoke with painter Ellen Rose. She says she stays in her painting clothes most of the time, which is great. This is the first time I've been out of sweats in weeks, and I actually put on.
Well, there was a funny thing that I had seen where you change from your daytime pajamas to your nighttime.
I like that. So she says these days she is trying to make the ugly beautiful by transferring images she sees on Netflix onto Canvas. So that kind of sounds kind of interesting. As far as subjects go, she says she's been all over the map. She has done paintings of dressed up show dogs, carnival barkers, circus personalities, members of the clergy, and Laguna Woods Village aqueducts, which you will see in today's Globe. There's a photo of her painting of one of the aqueducts. And so you can read more about what the village artists are doing today and see some lovely examples of their work.
Isn't that great? I mean, you know, people are going to do what they got to do because they got to do it, you know.
They got to do it. I mean, you got, especially artists, you just got to keep creating. Just can't stifle that, you know, creative urge.
Absolutely.
So they're doing it.
Absolutely. There's something else that's interesting, and I love this because it seems like there are more and more drive-bys going on these days, and
in a good way.
In a good way, yeah. Thank goodness. Maybe we should change that wording. So you had a birthday party.
Yes, there was a birthday party for Mary Ashberg. She turned 90. She's a village resident. And her friends and family, of course, wanted to celebrate her milestone. So they organized a drive-by birthday celebration in the former Macy's parking lot at Laguna Hills Mall. Oh. Everyone wore masks while keeping a 6-foot social distance. And birthday cards were cleverly collected using an extended grab pole. So I thought that was a creative way to do it. And Mary's daughter, Kathy, who also is a Laguna Woods resident, she drove Mary by all the parked cars, and they were festooned with balloons and birthday signs and streamers and a cardboard birthday cake with candles and car headlights adorned with eyelashes.
Oh, so cute.
Yeah.
So creative.
So we have a couple photos in today's Globe of that. And happy birthday, Mary.
Isn't that cute? People are getting really creative these days. Boy, I was sharing an awful lot of stuff here in the last couple of weeks about just creativity. And I haven't come across anything super unique, but we will, I'm sure. Now, the next story you have, what an unusual figurine. It's really interesting.
Yes, that was done by resident Sandra Mellon. She has not let the shutdown stop her from being creative either. When the pandemic struck, her Saddleback Emeritus class moved online. And so her instructor is giving lessons through demonstrations. And one of those lessons was paper mache. And so out of that lesson, Sandra created representations of frontline workers battling COVID-19 in hospitals, healthcare workers. And so we have a photo of that in today's Globe. I thought that was very creative.
It is.
And it's very cute. And what she said about that, her work is, the figures represent the people on the front line who every day never fail us. This was the only way to show we are all thinking about them. They are in our prayers. We are forever in their debt and can only pay it with love and respect for all they do.
Absolutely. That's very sweet. Very nice.
Very nice. So
you got some good stuff on artists this time.
Got a lot of stuff on artists, and a little preview of next week. We'll probably be doing something on some of the other clubs and how they're, facing the going into now what's going to be going into the third month of the shutdown. So I'm sure it's going to impact a lot of people, some positive, some negative,
the clubs obviously, they can't get together. I do know that there are some who are trying to do Zoom meetings and things like that. It's not always that easy either. You've got to get everybody to do it, and it's just not the same, but they are adapting. So that'll be interesting to see what clubs you highlight.
Yeah. So, and then of course our letters page, I don't know if your readers have noticed, but we've expanded it because these village residents have a lot on their mind these days.
You're right about it.
Yeah, and we have a lot extra space, so I'm just gonna, put in as many as I get every week. It's been about a page and a half of letters.
Oh wow, okay. Well, good ones.
We do. Of course, the big topic on everyone's minds, our letter writers lately, has been the Ayers Hotel homeless situation. And we are continuing to get letters on both sides of the issue. So we'll have some more of those in this week, in today's Globe. Also, let's see, we had residents are concerned with the lack of COVID-19 testing available in the county.
Yes.
the wearing or not wearing of masks. And then we had a letter about the lack of security in the village carports. You might remember a couple weeks ago, a letter writer had his bike stolen, and the thief apparently left another bike in its place. So,
well, that I did not hear. That's so interesting.
yeah. So, so anyway, we've had letters on that. And we also received this letter from Kathy Wallen. She is from the Sewing Supers Club.
Okay.
And Kathy writes, recognizing the need in the village and at nonprofit facilities serving older people, the Sewing Supers started work the day after all the clubhouses closed down, using cotton fabric and elastic on hand. And using simple patterns they already had, the diligent sewers and neighbors with sewing machines have made close to 1,000 non-medical masks, and the effort is ongoing.
That's great. And you know, we did have a mask distribution the other day.
I heard.
And it was great. People are, you know, definitely lining up to get them. And I love it because our residents are doing the right thing. And
they are.
It shows that we have very, very low numbers in Laguna Woods as a whole.
It's amazing.
So it's all been good. They're great.
Yeah. Yay, residents.
Yay. Good for them. Well, I appreciate you taking the time to be with us today. So thank you so much.
Absolutely.
Of course, we don't have, our community center isn't open. So I suppose the only way that you can get the Globe would be to subscribe. Is that correct? Or do you have them?
Yes. Well, they were telling me that they were going to put them over at Stater Brothers, but I understand they've not been doing that.
Okay.
So yeah, you just have to subscribe, and you can still do that. We can get you signed up if you call our office number, and I'm able to pick up those messages, and I will make sure that somebody from circulation calls them. So that number is 949-837-5200.
Good. I appreciate that, because that would be great if Stater Brothers would do that, because you know everybody's got a shop, so that would be a perfect place for them to get them. So
that would be
good. Well, good. Well, thank you. I appreciate you taking the time, and you stay happy out there and keep up the good work.
All right. You too, Lisa. Take care.
All right. You too. And we'll be right back after this. Welcome back. Well, yesterday we had our mask distribution and it went very well. And there were a lot of residents who were in line to get those masks. So we really do appreciate you lining up to get the masks. And some people needed more than one mask, which is awesome. So in any case, really glad you guys all participated. And then I wanted to let you know about the concert for today. Now, our concert is going to be just like some of the other ones that we have been telling you about. Believe there's a classical one today, and it is the Metropolitan Opera Nico Mulley's Marnie. And that will be at 4:30 today, and you can type in metopera.org. And then later at 7:30 is the Los Angeles Chamber Orchestra. And you would go to laco.org/LACO-at-home. So there you go for today. Have a lovely Thursday. And we will see you again tomorrow at 9 a.m. Don't forget, you can watch our recasts at 12:30 and 5 p.m. Talk to you later.
We consider hearing to be an essential part of your life. During this time of quarantine and isolation, you need to be hearing the best you can to understand how to stay safe and to hear your friends and family. Advanced Ear Care is offering service to everyone that needs help with their hearing aids, no matter where it was you purchased. If it's not working properly, please call for a free troubleshooting appointment. We even have hands-free, no-contact curbside service. There's no charge for this service. Advanced Ear Care is here to keep you hearing during these critical days.